What's up, Coach? You guys staggered De'Aaron and Domas a lot last year. Adding DeMar into that now, and just how you get to mess with your rotations. Is preseason a good time to get to experiment with some of that?
Yeah, and I mean, it'll be an experiment. So what you see tonight most likely won't be the final, deal for us. We got a couple of key players out there that get an opportunity, and Trey and Kevin, and then some young ones obviously that Orlando was playing well before he got hurt. So we'll still try to stagger the guys, but I'm not quite sure how we'll do it. We'll mix and match throughout the preseason to try to get a better feel.
Mike, what is it you're looking for from the young guys? What do you want to see from them, whether it's game 1 or game 5 of preseason?
I want to see if they're going to do the little things. We had an analogy of us being similar to a mountain climbing team, like I said, and talking about, each and every day that team is on the ascent. They have to pay attention to the details. They have to embrace the details in their role, and obviously if they don't, disaster can happen. That's death for us. It's not that serious, but you hope that they embrace it like that, and they take it to another level. And so running the floor, attacking the offensive glass if they're in a crash zone, boxing out every time, cutting to score, sitting down, guarding your man, trying to figure out what we're supposed to be doing, what you're supposed to be doing defensively to be part of that 5-man unit out there. Making the simple play, being ready to catch and shoot when you're open and not trying to do too much. Those are the types of things that we're looking for from our young guys, even as well as our vets, but they got a little bit more that they got to bring to the table than just that.
Mike, I apologize for going big picture ahead of the first preseason game, but how are you sort of defining your expectations for what a successful season is for you guys this year, given how the last 2 years have gone?
No, I'm not right now. Again, it's a process, it's a journey, and falling back on us bringing in one of the top 5, if not the top mountain climbers in the world, and especially in the U.S. and Ed Feaster's, the similarities again were phenomenal to me, and one of them is, it's about the journey. If you start thinking about getting to the top of it right now, disaster's going to happen, and we're going to hit some adversity. And so for me, right now it's just the beginning, and as we go along, I'm looking forward to hitting some adversity with this group to see how we respond. This is year 3 together, plus we have a couple of added components that are going to play for us, especially in a veteran like DeMar, and so I'm looking forward to the process.
Hey Mike, what's going on? Looking young and slim, man.
I'm trying.
You look young and slim, really.
I didn't shave. I got some. That's one of my braids. I got to shave them bad boys off.
Hey, DeMar's like a 3-time All-NBA, 6-time All-Star, but what are some of the maybe nuanced adjustments that he's made so far and what you've seen in camp? I mean, we were a team that played at a high pace last year. Anything along those lines or otherwise that you've seen or noticed so far?
Yeah, I mean, you mean that are different for him this year than again, I'm not in Chicago's practices or locker room or anything, but I know the emphasis that we try to place upon playing fast is huge, and so that's definitely, in my opinion, something that he's going to have to continue to adjust to, because it's, for us, playing fast isn't for 30 minutes, it's for 48 minutes, and we have specific things that we ask and or require our guys to do in order for our group to play fast, and that's one of them. Another one is our offense is interchangeable, especially when it comes to our perimeter guys, our 1, 2, 3, and 4. And although he's more than capable of bringing the ball and initiating offense and playmaking, he's got to learn all 4 spots. And I don't know if that was the same in Chicago, like it is with us. And then the reads that we have, we don't have as many play calls as most teams do. I would imagine most of our stuff is reads, but even though they're concepts and they're reads, we have broken them down to giving them a name so that if we want to script it or something or go specific to it, we can call out something. But like right now, we're going into this game with not a single play call for our guys. Everything is going to be read based out of the two different offenses that we like to get looks at or like to use to get looks out of. So if I'm standing up yelling something offensively, it's probably A, getting to the corner, B, attacking the offensive glass, or C, an action that they could have gotten to just based off of reads, but I'm trying to mix a different read in that they might not have gotten to, in a while. So that can possibly be different for him.
Coach Brown, talk about expectations, which we know every year, De'Aaron comes in with something, he add to his bag. What do you expect from him, going into the season? I think this is the beginning of his 8th season.
Well, he's going to continue taking leaps forward in terms of his leadership. That's big for him right now. And then the consistency with everything that he does, as the years go along, when you're a young guy and you turn it into a great player. Most great players, that's one of the traits that they have. They're consistent with everything with most things that they do. They got a routine. They're going to bed on time. They're eating right. They're getting their pre-practice work in. Their practice habits are the same. Post-practice habits, the treatment's the same. How hard they cut, how hard they defend. All those things become more consistent as time goes on. And so, for a guy like Foxy, him going into his 3rd year with us, I expect him to be more consistent in those areas and while leading the team, better than what he's done in the past.
Like in your experience with guys like LeBron and Steph and Tim, how do stars is there a right way for stars to approach the preseason, and how do you want or how should Fox and DeRozan and Sabonis approach these preseason games?
To play them trying to win while trying to execute and while helping each other. I don't. They may play 15 minutes, they may play 20 minutes. We kind of have a plan for them. Obviously, I've said it publicly, they're not going to play in the second half, but these games are steps for us to get better. At the end of the day, do we want to win? Yes, but am I going to deviate from our plan as a group and play Fox 40 minutes and 45 minutes in a preseason game, whatever? No. This is real for us, and it's an opportunity to take a step forward, not just as individuals, but also even for Fox and Domas and DeMar. They need to help bring the young guys along too. So if they see a thing or two out there on the floor that this guy can change or get better at or whatever, they need to make sure that they're engaged in helping them grow, because those guys may have to play big minutes for us at some point in time.
Mike, you mentioned to us last week that Keon's in that starting 2 spot because Kev is hurt. But is there anything you're looking for during this preseason stretch from Keon that can maybe solidify that spot for him when Kevin's back, or is it kind of just like a wait and see type thing with that?
I mean, it's a wait and see. Like I said, the 4 guys that are starting for sure are Domas, Keegan, DeMar, and Fox. And then from there, we'll figure it out. Having said that, Keon can be a special defender. And so he gonna have the toughest assignment night in, night out on the perimeter. And he's gonna have to show that he, that not only am I saying he's special on that end of the floor, but he's gonna have to prove it every time he steps on the floor, because that's where his value is. On top of that, he can't be a liability offensively. And you're talking about a young man that shot over 40% from the three-point line for 2 years now, and so that's right in the wheelhouse of what we're looking for. If you can be a guy that's going to knock down that catch and shoot three-point shot, because the reality of it is people are going to play off you, then fantastic. And just like on the other end of the floor, you got to do all the little things, but doing all the little things while taking our opponent's best perimeter offensive player. If you can do that, then again, fantastic. And that's just going to keep building not only confidence in myself and the staff to give them a shot at earning that starting two spot, but also his teammates.
Mike, we've talked a lot about how the offense might look when you add DeMar to this group, but defensively, how has that first unit looked to you so far? What are maybe some things that you like about what you've seen, and what are some things that maybe you want to see them do better as a group?
It's still early, you know. We didn't contain the drive really well last year, and so we're trying to emphasize doing a better job in that. We also sent our opponents to the free throw line at a pretty high rate, and so we're focusing on that while hopefully not losing what we were good at, defensive rebounding, transition defense, some of those things. And our physicality has to continue going up without sending guys to the free throw line. Our ability to contain the dribble drive has to be better. And so, again, you see some things in practice, but it's hard to gauge that because we play a certain way offensively. We have a lot of movement, and not a lot of teams have the type of movement we have. We want to play fast, and so we're always trying to emphasize that. Not a lot of teams do that. And so as the preseason goes along into the regular season, we'll get a better feel of some of the things that we're looking at on the defense end of the floor as to where we may need to shore it up.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.